All right, folks, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Volleyball Actions. The Valkyries taking on the Lady Lions here from Eureka in conference battle for second place. The Valkyries are 5-5 on the season. I'm not sure what Eureka's record is, but they lost to Eureka earlier at Bigfork, looking to revenge that loss tonight. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals here from Eureka, Montana, as the Bigfork Valkyries get ready to take on the Eureka Lady Lions. And I had a chance to sit down and talk with the head coach for the Valkyries before this game, Ariel Stolnek, and this is what she had to say pregame before the start of this match tonight. Let me bring this up for you and play it back so you can hear what she had to say.
Well, good evening and welcome to Eureka, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals, with head coach of the Bigfork Valkyries, Ariel Stolnek, as the Valkyries get ready to get back into conference play and take on the Eureka Lady Lions tonight, scheduled for a 7 o'clock first serve. And, Coach, I know some of these matches have been pushed out because of the COVID thing. Talk to me about how that has affected your team this year.
Well, I would say the first time we played Eureka actually was right after we came back from our girls being out for about 2 weeks. So we played like we hadn't played volleyball in 2 weeks, which was unfortunate. But I've just watched them the last 3 games, and the girls haven't even given up a set. And so I'm really excited for this game because last time we played Eureka, we were right there along with them at points. We were ahead of them, all sorts of different stuff. But we just have to clean it up more than we did that game if we want to pull this out, but we would love this conference win. So
yeah, I was at that match, obviously, and I thought you guys played well at times, just maybe a little bit out of sync, having those 2 weeks off. It's kind of pushed everything in the schedule to the back end of the season. So now you're going to go Eureka, then you travel to Thompson Falls, and then you got Troy again. What's the mindset and then Mission? So that's going to really position you guys for districts seeding, and then from there that district goes into divisionals. But how has your team responded? I know you guys have won the last 3 matches in a row. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, beating Arley at home, and then Troy on the road, and then Stillwater on Tuesday. So going into this game today, how's the confidence of your team?
The confidence of our team is actually really, really good. I always tell my girls that you might lose to a team the first time, but the true telling of a good team is getting back out there the second time and beating them. And we just did that against Stillwater. The first time we played Stillwater, we lost, and then the next time we played them, we swept them in 3. So that just shows that my girls are progressing, and they're feeling really great, and they know that the expectations today are to win, and that's what I'm holding them to. And I think that's lighting a fire under their butt, and they really want to seed high in the conference. So
that is a good expectation. So really, today's match, because you've taken care of Mission, you've taken care of Arley. You haven't played Thompson Falls yet, who's generally pretty good, and you've taken care of Troy. So really, today's match is looking for second place, right?
Yeah, if we can play Eureka and beat them by more points than they beat us by, we're looking at second place in the conference, which would be amazing, because last year we were 5th in the conference, and anything better than that is great, but the girls and I won't be satisfied until we're all the way up there. So
well, a lot of kids have stepped up. You had Alexis Sari move up in JV. I thought she's played well for you. Miranda Gray done a nice job of spiking. Of course, Madison Chapius. You got Richner, who's always a steady player, serves well and really digs things out and really passes well. And then your setter.
We got a couple of those, but we. Those girls, I have a really, really strong team. My front row is brilliant to watch. We've got great setters. We're digging well right now. Our serve receive looks great. Last time we played Eureka, we were missing a little bit of confidence in some of our are really strong players, which I know that if they come on and just play a solid game of volleyball tonight, this should be a really fun match for us.
Yeah, and even Inga Turner as well has been playing well. And Mackenzie Holton, obviously, your setter that starts. And then now you have Dana Sari back as another setter for you and getting some playing time.
Yeah, we found some really good play time for Dana on the right side. She'll have second hands. It'll be a phenomenal position for her to be in. This is the first year that I've ever been able to have confidence in my right side and just know that we're putting up a great block. My block on the right side looks phenomenal. Watching my middles move left and right, they're so athletic that I'm never usually worried on that kind of stuff. So it is really fun watching all these girls get back, trying to get them on the floor and see them do some work tonight.
Well, I thought they've really, the first half of the season to the second half have improved a lot, and getting through the things that we have this year going on with this COVID thing and getting over that and getting into playing. So I'm really looking forward to a good match tonight against Eureka, and hopefully you can take it to them. I know you played well against them, and I watched that, and just a few things here and there could have made the difference against them.
I thought that it was the sloppiest game of volleyball that we've played so far. So that's why I think if we play a decent game of volleyball, we watched our film back and I was like, come on you guys, decent game of volleyball tomorrow and you guys can pull this out. And we'll be 3-1 in the conference, looking at second place. That's what we're going for tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I mean, you could see glimpses of brilliance there all year long with different players, and then coming along and getting the right mix on the court where they're communicating and talking. And I think that's when you guys are at your best. Yeah,
I think that I think our best game was when we did play against Mission. We looked solid all the way around, everything we did. I'm always looking at us and seeing more that we can be doing in every single game. I find something that I'm not completely satisfied with that I want us to work harder on. And the girls they recognize that and they keep working hard and it's all coming together. Even I don't mind that all our conference games are at the end of the season, because if they were at the beginning, it could have been a whole different ball game. But the way we're looking at stuff right now, I think we're very lucky, and the girls are playing great volleyball, and it just keeps getting better, and I'm super proud of them.
Well, as a coach, you always got to look for something to teach the kids to improve so they have some goal or somewhere to go, and that's always good to do as a coach. So I want to thank you again, as always, Ariel. You're just great for joining me on the pregame, and then hopefully get a W here and come join me on the postgame with one of your players to talk about how the match went. Regardless, either way, I'm looking forward to a good match today. So good luck and go Vols.
Go Vols! Love it. Thank you. Woo!
All right, that was Ariel Stelmack, the head coach of the Valkyries, on the pregame show. Pregame brought to you by the Bigfork Harvest Foods for all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery and deli, 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, 837-5010. Marcus Pagos and the folks at the Bigfork Harvest Food, fine folks, and always willing to sponsor Valkyrie and Viking sports here for Bigfork High School. 406-270-7384. I want to make sure that you guys are listening and hearing me out there. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vols, here from Eureka, Montana. As the Valkyries here in conference action, battling for second place. They haven't played Thompson Falls either way, and this is the second game with Eureka, so they need to take care of business tonight, as everything's going to be on the back end of this season after earlier in the season with the COVID thing and contact tracing. Anyway, the Valkyries are getting ready to play tonight, 5-5 on this season, and going to take on the Lady Lions here in Eureka, Montana. Well, let's get to your starting lineups, brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Let's keep them from getting fit. Just gonna guest passes, personal training, Pilates, 837-2582 over there on Holt Drive, across from Eagle Bend there in Bigfork, Montana. Lots of things going on. The new to the MAC last year was the MESA Functional Training Area, 2,500 square feet of functional training area featuring indoor turf, power racks, more free weights, suspension training, Quincy rig, and a new cardio deck, jungle gym daycare as well, recovery room, updated locker rooms, lots of stuff at the Montana Athletic Club. Well, take a look at your starting lineups. First of all, for the Lady Lions of Eureka, it'll be the captain. First, I should go to LaBelle. LaBelle is a 5'7" senior, number 21, Michael Shea. And then middle hitter, a 5'9" senior, captain number 1, Rihanna Hawkins. And the setter for the Lady Lions is a 5'5" senior, number 4, Alyssa Utter. At 5'7", outside hitter, junior, number 8, Jaden Pluid. Also an outside hitter at 5'7", senior, number 19, Katie Schmidt. Middle hitter, 5'10", junior, number 13, Rena Truman. And number 14, Cameron Brown, a 5'6" junior setter for head coach Todd Brulette. Assisted by Gina Brulette for the Lady Lions of Eureka. For the Valkyries tonight, a little different setting lineup. And LaBelle again, Allie Richter, number 88, a 5'3" senior. And Inga Turner starts a middle blocker at 5'9", sophomore. Defensive specialist, 5'4", senior, number 2, Kiara Morrow. 5'8" middle blocker, senior, number 4, Jessica Fry. And then 5'7", sophomore setter, number 6, Jessa Newton. And a 5'6" defensive specialist and setter, senior, number 7, Dana Sari. And then a 5'6" outside hitter, junior, number 15, Miranda Gray. Mackenzie Holton, since she started for JV, she cannot start tonight at varsity. So that is your starting lineup for head coach Ariel Stalneck, assisted by Josh Feller. Well, we got about a few minutes here before we get ready to tip this one off here in Eureka, Montana. It's the Valkyries taking on the Lady Lions. And James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, ready to bring you action from Eureka in tonight's match. And hopefully a little more success compared to the match at home. And I'm sure the Valkyries are ready for tonight. Be back with the national anthem and getting things kicked off here from Eureka, Montana on BFSC Events here on YouTube. 406-270-7384. Somebody shoot me a text and let me know that you can hear me and are listening out there. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll be back here from Eureka, Montana. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. And get ready. Starting lineups as well to be announced, and as well as the national anthem here from Eureka as the Valkyries get ready to take on the Lady Lions. And just checking to see how we're doing here. And we'll get stand and get ready to go here with the national anthem. All right, wrapping up the national anthem, and we're about ready to get underway here. Those are the starting lineups, and then we'll have the match here between the Valkyries and the Lady Lions of Eureka. (406-270-7384). Just shoot me a text. Let me know you can hear out there. It says I'm live, so hopefully we're going. Hey, sponsors tonight are Bigfork Harvest Foods and the Montana Athletic Club. Thanks. If you see those guys, Marcus Bagos at Harvest Foods, just tell them thank you for sponsoring, as well as if you see Doug Malman, Nancy Malman around, always willing to sponsor Viking and Valkyrie sports, and it's a big help. Allows us to broadcast these games for people that can't make it, especially during this time, you know, with the COVID and everything going on. So announcing the Valkyries right now. So the Valkyries have 3 matches this week because things got pushed back. They're back in conference play. So Tuesday they took on Stillwater, beat them 3-0, and they've won the last 3 matches 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. And so tonight they got Eureka, the Lady Lions. This Saturday they travel to Thompson Falls to take on the Lady Blue Hawks, and they'll get the Lady Blue Hawks on back-to-back Saturdays. Monday it will be taking on the Troy Lady Trojans at home as they beat them on the road last Saturday. And then coming up during the week they got Mission on Thursday, and then have Thompson Falls on Saturday. Then they wrap up the season with a match against the Whitefish Lady Bulldogs in non-conference on that following Monday, and then we'll get into district and divisional play for the postseason. So, glad to be with you. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Knights and the Vows of the Eureka Lady Lions. Announce their starting lineups here from Eureka, Montana. Glad to be with you here tonight and catching some volleyball on the season. I was down there when they beat Mission. And that was a big win for them, so hopefully they continue and keep that going here on the road. Earlier action in the C team. C team lost the first set, but able to come back and win the next three and win that match 3-1. A nail biter in the junior varsity. You know, they were down and almost match point in game 4, able to squeak it out with the Valkyries. They lost 3-2 overall in that match. Tonight's officials on the net, Debbie Carlson on the floor, Terry Orabona for our officials for this match, and we're about ready to kick things off here in Eureka, Montana. And know most of these kids have seen them for quite a few years, so hopefully you're listening out there and checking names and numbers or something for the official, getting the volleyball ready to find out who will serve here as they did the coin toss earlier. So little change. Madison Chapey is probably coming off the bench for the Valkyries, not starting tonight, the captain. And the captain for Eureka is Rihanna Hawkins, number 1, their middle hitter, a senior. And they have 4 seniors on their team for the Valkyries. 6 seniors, and we'll have senior day coming up next Monday. So the Valkyries will serve. Check that. Eureka will serve, and Allie Richner, the libero, will come in. Service. In. Richner digs it out of bounds off Richner's, and a point for Eureka as Camber Brown is serving for the Lady Lions. Here comes the second serve by Brown, dug out by Richner. Holton, and put across by Turner. Turner cross, dig it out. And Spike dug out there by, and across the net by Dana Sari on the right side. 14 sets it up, Brown. And that goes out of bounds. And a point inside out for Bigfork. Richner will serve as Jessica Fry comes in for the Valkyries. Service across. Dug out there by Utter. Over to Brown and across by Utter. Cross. Dana Sari gets it back. Dug out by Shea. Shea will set up. Spike long there by number 9, Katie Schmidt. And a point for the Valkyries. They lead 2-1 here early. Richner to serve. Service deep. Dug out. Brown's going to set up. We had a block there by Fry and Sari. And Rihanna Hawkins dug out by Richner. Set up by Jessica Newton. Spike there. And out of bounds as Fry spikes it off and knocked out of bounds by number 9, Katie Schmidt. And a nice setup there by Jessica Newton, who set up Gray. Service by Allie. Across. And Eureka can't quite get it across. Out of bounds as Hawkins tries to go dig it out on the far side. 4-1 early. Richard to serve. Service on the way. A little bit deep. Dig it out. And across by Brown. Richner. Jessica Newton. And 2 hits there as Fry and Newton go for it. And side out to Eureka. Richner digging out the serve. Morrow. Fry will get it across. Michael Shea. Set it up to Utter. Spike long by Hawkins and no good. Side out point to Bigfork. And Sari will go back to serve. And Alexis Sari will come in for Newton on the front line. And Dana Sari to serve for the Valkyries. Across deep. Shea digs it out. Over to 14, Brown. Brown, spike by Hawkins. And out of bounds off of Richner. And Morrow And side out point to Eureka. Number 13, Rena Truman back in for Lady Lions. And Rihanna Hawkins to serve for Eureka. Holton in the ball game. Dug out by Richner. Holton setting up. Sorry, spike. And drops it in inside the back line. Just past the outreach of Katie Schmidt. And a point side out to Bigfork. So here comes Chapius. Chapius will come in for Morrow. That's how Coach Stallneck has it lined up. And Miranda Gray back to serve for the Valkyries. Service deep. Dug out there by Schmidt. Over to Utter. Spike by number 9, Schmidt. And a lift, or carry if you will, by the Valkyries. And a point side out to Eureka. Utter to serve. Gets it across. Gray. Holton looking to set up Fry. Fry digs it down. Brown digs it out. Over to Utter. And across. There by Schmidt. Kinsey blocked. Knocked down. Gray can't quite handle the spike of Schmidt. And it'll be point side out for Eureka. Utter to serve. Back across. Chapius digs it out. Holton. Richner across for 3. Set up. Brown. Looking to spike. Spikes it in the net. Number 13, Truman. And a point side out to Bigfork. As they lead 7-5. Turner will come back in for the Valkyries, replacing Richner. And Fry to serve. Nice deep serve. Dug up by Hawkins. And they're going to call a lift or carry on Hawkins. And a point for Bigfork. 8-5. So Jessica Fry to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. Dug out by Schmidt. Over to Utter. Schmidt will get it back across. Gray on the backcourt. Holton spiked down by Madison. Chapius off the block attempt by Truman and drops on the Eureka side for a point. And a 9-5 lead on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Eureka will take a timeout here in the first set. Best of 5 for the match. 406-270-7384. I know we're broadcasting live, so hopefully you're catching it out there. Just let me know. And 9-5 early. The Valkyries lead on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Glad to be with you here tonight from Eureka, Montana. We'll also be with you if you're following on Saturday when they take on the Lady Bluehawks at Thompson Falls around 4 o'clock. And also tomorrow night, the Vikings head to take on the Anaconda Copperheads. We'll have that game at 7 o'clock, pregame about 6:45. So we're back and Fry to serve for the Vals. Nice serve. Dug it in. Utter digs it out. Over to Brown. Spike dug out by Inga Turner and out of bounds off of Holton. And it'll be side out point for the Lady Lions. 9-6 Valkyries lead early. And number 9, Katie Schmidt serving. Jump serve, deep. Chapius digs it out. Holton out into the stands. And a point for Eureka. Schmidt to serve again. 9-7, Valkyries lead. Jump serve, dug out. Gray right back. Schmidt digs it out and dinking it over and dropping it in is Camber Brown. And a point for Eureka. 9-8 now on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Schmidt jump serving. Will serve again. And she serves this one on the net. So it'll be a side out and a point to Bigfork. And we're going to have changes. Sorry comes back in for Holton. And Morrow will come back in for Alexis Sorry. So I need her cousin, so on the team. Need to change out volleyballs here. And It'll be Jesson Newton serving for the Valkyries. Service across deep. Dug out by Schmidt into the net. And there'll be a point for Bigfork. Check that was Utter. Couldn't quite handle the serve into the net. And a point for the Vols. Newton serving again for Bigfork. Then caught, dug out, this time by Schmidt. Over to Brown. Spiked down, brought out by Gray. Sorry to set it up. Newton to set it up. Actually, they were called for 2 hits on Jesson Newton, the sophomore. And it'll be side out to Eureka at a point. And Truman was serving for Eureka. Richner, Newton, setting up Turner. And a point for Bigfork as it just crosses the net and Hawkins can't quite handle it. It drops on Eureka's side for a point and side out, and Chapius to serve for the Vols. Deep serve, Shea digs it out. Truman, spike, long by Schmidt. And a point for the Vols. 13-9 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Another service by Chapius on the right side in the net. And Morrow will come in to replace Chapius and head to the backcourt. Truman to serve. Morrow. Just drops across the net on the Eureka side. A side out point for Bigfork. I think Eureka thought Bigfork was going to spike it, but it cleared the net and dropped in. Richner to serve. Deep Shea. Truman. And a point. Tipped out of bounds by Hawkins. And a point for Bigfork. 15-10 here in the first set. Richner serving for Bigfork. Serves it deep. Dug out by Utter. Truman looking to sub out Hawkins. Hawkins dug out by Richner. Sorry. Back a little bit deep by Gray as she gets it across for 3, but across the end line, and a point side out to Eureka. Hawkins, serve. Richner. Amanda Gray gets it in. Shea digs it out. Truman looking to set up. Hawkins blocked there by Fry. And a lift on Eureka, point for Bigfork. And a nice block there by Jessica Fry as Alexa Sorry comes in for Newton. And Dana Sorry to serve for the Vols. Serves it across. Shea digs it out. Brown. Hawkins off the block, drops in for a point inside out to Eureka. 16-12, and Holton will come in for Dana Sorry. And Rihanna Hawkins, the captain, to serve for the Lady Lions. Service, dug out by Richner. Alexis Sorry, Richner gets it across. Brown, Utter, Hawkins, blocked. Holton gets it. Fry, and she'll give it and drop it across. By Richner, and point for Eureka. Hawkins to serve. And she's going to serve it about 2 feet deep across the end line. And side out point for Bigfork. 17-13 as Chapius will come in from Morrow on the front line. Greatest serve for the Vols. Service, nice serve. Shea digs it out and knocks it out of bounds. And a point for Bigfork off of Shea. And they'll trade out balls. Went in the stands, so they got to trade them out during this time and clean the one up. Greatest serve, 18-13 Vols. Nice service off of Brown. Shea. Hawkins. Gray digs it out. Holton. Chapius, or Fry gets it across. Dug out by Brown. Utter looking. Dug out by Richner across. Eureka. Hawkins looking to spike. Spikes it cross court and good on the left side, the near side, and drops it in. Side out point for Eureka. 18-14. And Utter to serve. Gets it across. Fry. And Hawkins as Fry set her up perfectly at the net. She spikes it in on the end line, and a point. And timeout called for by head coach Ariel Stalmack for the Valkyries as they lead 18-15 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. We're back more of set number one as the Vols lead 18-15 over the Lady Lions in this first set. Best of 5 here from Eureka, Montana. All right, welcome back. We're in set number one, best of 5, a conference battle between the Valkyries and the Lady Lions. Each have used a timeout here, and Eureka trailing by 3, 18-15. Utter to serve. Across, Madison Chapius digs it out. Holton setting up Chapius for the spike, and drills it off, up in stands. And Hawkins were able to get across for Eureka as it goes up high. Holton looking, spike down by Hawkins, and the Valkyries set her up perfectly, and within 2, 18-16 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Utter to serve again, gets it across, Richner, Holton, and across, digs it across, Hawkins, dugout. Truman gets it across. Holton setting up Chapius with a nice spike off the block, drops it on Eureka's side for a point and a side out. The Valkyries needed that as they stopped that run of the Lady Lions and lead 19-16. And Jessica Fry will serve for the Vols. Deep serve, dug out by Hawkins. Truman, dug out by Gray. Holton setting up Inga Turner. Turner, far side. Up in the lights, and Hawkins can't quite dig it up and bring it out. As Schmidt hit it, Hawkins tried to recover. Fry to serve. Deep serve. Dug out by Utter. Spike by Hawkins, dug out by... And across by Bigfork. Setting up Truman, setting up Hawkins. Dug out, and Hawkins drops it in front of Gray, and Fry and Ritzner back in. Trying to remember all these names. Sorry, folks. 2017 side out. Hawkins to serve. Gets it across. Dug out by Chapius. Holton. Cross. Sorry. Nice spike. Dug out by Hawkins. Truman. Spike down by Truman. Actually set up by Brown. And a point as Shea will come in to replace Hawkins. And serving. Gray digs it out. Holton setting up. Chapius spikes it down. Dug out by Utter. Over to, and out of bounds off of Chapius as Ritzner able to dig it out on the spike by Katie Schmidt. Schmidt to serve. The jump serve by Schmidt. Dug out by Gray. Holton just tips it across. Dug out by Schmidt. Spikes down by Katie Schmidt, and check that. That's number 8, Pluid. Excuse me. Spikes it down and good. And we're tied at 20 here in the first set. And the Valkyries will talk about as they take another timeout. The 9 and 8 look so close together, but I know the difference between Schmidt and Pluid. Pluid with a spike there for Eureka, and to tie this one up at 20 here in the first set. We'll be back here with more of set number 1 as the Valkyries and Lady Lions are tied at 20. All right, welcome back to Eureka. We're tied at 20, and Hawkins will serve for Eureka here in set number 1. Deep, Richner digs it out. Holton, Gray spikes it, but too long, past the end line, and a point for the Lady Lions. First set is critical. Here, Hawkins will serve again. Richner digs it out. Holton setting up Alexis Sorry, off the block, spike is good. Off Pluid's block, and a point inside out for Bigfork. We're tied at 21. Morrow back in, as well as Dana Sorry for Bigfork. Jessa Newton serving for Bigfork, serves it deep, and towards out of bounds. Dug out there by Brown, and across. Oh, nice dive by Holly Winster, but into the net, and Turner can't handle it. And a point for Eureka side out. And serving is Truman. Allie Witzner digs it out. Jessa Newton. Dana Sorry drives across. Dug out by Truman. Spike blocked. Went off the hands. Turner right there to block it. Off the hands of Pluid, and a point for Bigfork. Side out, we're tied at 22. Shea back in for Truman. And Chapius to serve. Nice serve. Right down the line. Shea can't quite handle it. And a point for Bigfork, 2 points away from the first set. And Chapius to serve again for the Valkyries. 23-22. Val's lead. Oh. Chapius doesn't throw it up high enough. Serves it in the net, and we're tied at 23, and side out. Mara will come in for Chapius. And serving is Brown. Dug out by Gray. Newton setting up Turner. Turner spike into the net, and we're at game point 24-23. The Lady Lions lead the Valkyries. And Brown to serve. Brown, Richner, dug out by Newton. Across by Turner. Dug up by, and across. Newton digs it out. Setting up Gray. Gray spike off the hands. And a point for Bigfork. We're tied at 24. Now you have to win by 2. Gray will come back in for Turner. And Bigfork will serve. As Gray's spike went off the hand of one of the Eureka players and out of bounds. Richard to serve. Deep. Set up. Brown blocked there by Fry, and side out is dug out by Morrow and Richner, and Gray can't handle it. 25-24, side out to Eureka, and Pluid to serve for the Lady Lions. Serves it, dug out by Morrow. Newton gets it back across. Shea. Brown spiking it down is Katie Schmidt. And game point 26-24 on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard as the Vows lose set number 1, 26-24 here in Eureka. And we'll go to set number 2. And hoping the Valkyries can recover. Nice set. Played a lot better than when they met them at home. And we're back with set number 2 here from Eureka, Montana. It is 1-0 in the sets in the match. Eureka leading the Valkyries. Set number 2 coming up here momentarily from Eureka, Montana. Well, welcome back. And looks like the same starters for Eureka. Hawkins, Utter, Pluitt on the front line. We got Brown, Truman, and Schmidt. And the libero is Shea. We'll see who Bigfork puts out in this second set. As Chapius, usually a starter, coming off the bench and doing well. So on the front line, you got Hawkins, Pluitt, and Brown. On the back line, you got Schmidt, Schmidt, and Truman for Eureka. And the Valkyries line up here momentarily. Gray on the front line. Newton, Turner, Chapius will start here in the second set. And they need 6, and they only got 4. Oh, Jessica Fry, as well as for Bigfork, start Olivia Ellison. So Fry, Gray, and Ellison on the front line. Madison, Chapius, Inga Turner, and Newton in the back. And Richner will come in to serve for Turner for the Valkyries. Here. And coming in for Truman is Shea, the libero. So Richner to serve here at set number 2. And she's going to serve it a little bit deep. And side out a point for Eureka to start the second set. And serving is Brown. Brown, Chapius, digs it out. Newton, setting up Gray. Gray, nice spike. Dug out by Schmidt. Over to Pluitt. Pluitt off the block. Dug out by Newton. Crossed by Ellison. Shea digs it out. Over to Brown. And a spike by Utter. Dug out by Chapius. Newton. They set up Gray. Gray on the spike. The net. And a point for Eureka. They lead 2-0 early in the second set. So Bigfork getting it, but not quite across there. Serves it. Richner digging it out. Newton setting up Gray. Gray spikes it across. Duck out by Schmidt into the net. And no good as Schmidt can't quite control it. Into the net on the Eureka side. And side out a point for Bigfork. As Holton will come in for Ellison. And Alexis Sari will come in for Newton. And Holton will serve for the Vowels. Throws it deep and off the hands of Utter playing up. And Holton Cotter sleeping as Mackenzie Holton hits that serve deep. And a point for Bigfork. We're tied at 2. So Mackenzie Holton to serve again for Bigfork. Service on the way, gets it across and right into the ground. Shea and Hawkins can't dig it out. And a point for Bigfork as it goes out of bounds. And Holton to serve again. Service deep. And just long there. Right by the line judge and probably 6 inches out. And side out point for Eureka. Pluitt to serve. Jump serve dug by Gray. Holton digging across. And Rihanna Hawkins blocks it as Holton tried to get it across for Bigfork. And 4-3 Eureka leads. Pluitt to serve. Dug out by Richner. And up in the stands is Richner can't quite handle it. And a point for Eureka as Pluitt continues to serve. And a 5-3 lead. Pluitt. Dug out by Holton. Fry. Gray gets it across. Gonna set up. Hawkins. Hawkins spikes it down as she digs it. Utter sets her up, and Hawkins able to knock it down on the Bigfork side of the point. And a 6-3 lead for Eureka here in set number 2. Pluitt to serve. Cross. Dug out by Richner. Holton sets up. Sorry digs it across. Dug out by Hawkins. Set up. Utter. Off the hands of Alexis Sari. And over in the stands. And a point for Eureka. 7-3. Pluitt will continue to serve. Jump serve. Dug out by Ritzner. Holton gets it. Ritzner gets it back across. Over to Brown. Utter. Setting up Hawkins. Off the block of Sorry. Hawkins knocks it down on the Bigfork side. And a point for Eureka. 8-3 on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Pluid to serve. Gray. Chapius trying to dig it out. Gray going to get across. Nice save by Chapius. But can't quite find it as it falls out of bounds on the near side. But a great attempt there. Pluid to serve. Into the net is Pluid side out. Point for Bigfork as they trail 9-4 on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. And Gray to serve for the Vows. Miranda Gray gets across deep to Hawkins. And spiked down there as Eureka able to save it by Sorry. Gets it across and out of bounds as Chapius lets it go out of bounds on the near side. And a point for Bigfork. 9-5. Eureka leads. Gray serving. Into the net. Service aces can't, or service misses can't have those errors, if you would say. And in the game now is number 3, Shani Fox for Gray for the Valkyries. Rihanna Hawkins to serve. Right? And they say you get in the game, the ball will find you. And just as she gets into the match, it does find her. And Fox can't quite handle it as they trail 11-5. Hawkins to serve. Ritzner. Holden. Chapius. Blocked, but dug out by Ritzner as Chapius spiked, blocked. Ritzner hits it and quite can't handle it. And the Valkyries will have to take a timeout as they trail 12-5, on your Montana Athletic Cubs scoreboard here from Eureka, Montana. They lost the first set 26-24 in a really good set played by both teams, and trail in the second set 12-5 here from Eureka. We're back with set number 2 here from Eureka, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Owls. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. Set number 2. Vows trail by 7, 12-5. They really need this set and even this thing up. And Hawkins to serve for Eureka. Dug out by Ritzner. Holton will set up Fry. Fry spike. Dug out by Brown. Utter. Sets up Truman off the wrist of Ritzner and out of bounds, and a point for Eureka. 13-5, and Hawkins to serve. Hawkins serve. Shani Fox. Holton going to set up, and a nice spike there by Sorry. Hawkins dug out by Ritzner, setting up, and a dink. Nice dink there over the block by Chapius as Truman and Brown trying to block it. Chapius hits just over the top and knocked out of bounds, side out to Bigfork. And Fry to serve. Pluid, Utter, setting up. Schmidt blocked there by Chapius, and Sorry, Alexis Sorry at the net. And a point for Bigfork, 13-7. Back within 6 of the Valkyries. Fry continues to serve for Bigfork. Serves it deep. Dug out, Utter. Setting up, and Truman spikes it in the net and just crawls across the net and drops. And there's nothing Bigfork can do about that one. And a side out to Eureka. Shea to serve, 14-7. Shea. Dug out by Fox. Holton. Ingrid Turner. Can't quite get it across. Hits it in the net on the Bigfork side. And a 15-7 lead by Eureka. Shea to serve. Deep. Ritzner. Fox. Sorry gets it across. Deep to Eureka. Truman. Spiking it down. Dug out by Sorry. Sorry going to spike it across. Dinks it across. Truman or Brown, excuse me. And then Truman hits it out of bounds. And a side out for Bigfork. Here comes Newton. Newton will come in to serve. Comes in for Lexasari. And Ellison will come in for Holton on the front line. So Newton to serve, trailing 15-8. Newton serve. Nice serve deep. Dug out there by Pruitt. Schmidt spikes it down. Fox digs it out. Richner. Ellison gets it across, but hits it out of bounds for Bigfork. And a point side out to Lady Lions. And Schmidt to serve. The jump serve. Right between Chapius and Richner. Drops in for an ace for Katie Schmidt. And they lead 17-8 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Here comes another serve. This time dug out by Chapius in the net. And 18-8, they're up by 10. The back line moves up just a little bit because she's serving a little bit short this time. Richner, right in her hand. She can't control it. They trail 19-8, and Coach Dahlnut will have to take a timeout as they trail 19-8 on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard here from Eureka, Montana in set number 2, and they lost the first set 26-24. We're back here momentarily from Eureka. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. Uphill battle for the Valkyries as they trail 19-8 here in set number 2. They lost first set in a really good battle, 26-24. Had an opportunity to take that one and barely dropped that. So Schmidt will continue to serve for Eureka. Service handled by Richner. Newton. Inga Turner gets across. Dug out by Schmidt. Over and spiked down by Pruitt off the hands of Fox, and Newton out of bounds. And a point for Eureka, 20-8. It'll be a tough battle if they lose the first 2 sets here, but Schmidt to serve. Newton, Madison Chapius, Ellison spikes it, but long. And 21-8. Hawkins to serve. Deep. Chapius can't handle it on the back line. And 22-8, 3 points within the second set are the Lady Lions. So Hawkins to serve. Really good player. Nice jump serve by her. This time Chapius able to head it. Newton to set up Turner. Turner to spike it down. And knocks it down right at Hawkins. And falls on the Eureka side for a point inside out to Bigfork. So 22-9. And Richner needs to go on a serving spree. Check that. It's going to be Morrow to serve as she comes in for Bigfork. Morrow handled there by Hawkins. Blocked. Turner blocks Truman. This time spiking it. Dug out by Richner. Spiking is Gray. Gray knocks it down almost to the floor. Quite get it across. Oh! Is Truman just barely gets it across the net, and Ellison can't quite knock it back. And side out point for Eureka. And Truman to serve, gets it across. Morrow, Newton setting up Gray. Gray spikes it into that. And game point for Eureka as the Valkyries trail 24-9. And Truman to serve. Truman gets it across, dug it out by Morrow. Gray tries to get it from falling out of bounds. And that is game point 25-9. So the Valkyries leads the second set 25-9. And we'll be down 2-0, and a very big battle here in this match against the Lady Lions. We'll be back with set number 3, best of 5 here. The Valkyries trail 2-0 here in Eureka, Montana. We'll be back momentarily. All right, welcome back here, Eureka, Montana. We're getting ready for set number 3. The Valkyries trail 2-0, and looks like the same starters. Although it's hard to see with their hair hanging around the net. You got Truman, Brown, Michael Shea, Schmidt, Utter, Pluitt, and Hawkins out there for Eureka to start the third set. And Ariel Stalmack giving a pep talk to the Valkyries. Morrow, Turner, Newton, Gray, Fry, and Dana Sari and Allie Richner for the Valkyries in this third set, as Richner will come in for Fry to start this third set, and Eureka gets the serve. Shea will come in for Truman, and serving will be Brown for Eureka. And discussion with the official here. And we're about ready to get underway here in set number 3. So an uphill battle, I should say, for the Valkyries tonight. And serving. Richner digs it out. Gray. Turner to get it across. She does. Utter digs it out to Brown. Spike off the hands of Richner as a spike by Hawkins. And a point for Eureka. And Brown to serve. Serve. Richner digs it out. Newton gets it across. There's Hawkins over to Brown. And spike there by Utter. Dug out by Morrow. Newton setting up Gray. Gray spikes it down the line. Dug out by Brown. Utter spiking it down is Hawkins for Lady Lions. And a point, 2-0. And Brown will serve again for Eureka. Dug out by Richner. Morrow. And Gray to get it across. Shea. Over to Brown. Setting up. Pluitt blocked off the hands of Bigfork. Ingrid Turner and Dana Sari out of bounds, and a point for Lady Lions. Serving again. Dug out by Morrow. Justin Newton going to set up Turner. Turner can't quite get it across. Hits it into the net. And a point, 4-0. The Valkyries trail in this third set. And serving again is Brown. Setting up and spiking it down is Dana Sari into the net off of Hawkins. And side out point for Bigfork. They needed that one there as they trail 4-1 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. And Turner comes out to libero. Richner comes in for the Valkyries. Richner to serve. Serves it deep. And too long past the end line. Just got to get it in at this point. Side out. And Pluitt to serve for Eureka. Morrow. Dug out by Gray. Sorry, Dana gets it across. There's to Hawkins. to Brown. Brown setting up Utter. Utter knocks it into the net. And a point for Bigfork, side out, 5-2. Alexis Sari to come in for Newton. And Dana Sari back to serve for the Valkyries as they trail 5-2. Dana Sari deep, dug out by Schmidt. Schmidt set up by and the spike by Schmidt off the hands of Bigfork. And a point, side out to Eureka, 6-2. And Hawkins will serve for the Lady Lions. Serves it deep, Richner. Gives it up to Holton. Alexis Sari, spike. Knocked down by Pluid. Over. And by Hawkins, that would look like over the antenna wire, didn't call. Bigfork in the net. And Eureka gets the point, 7-2. And Rihanna Hawkins a serve for Eureka. Serves it into the net and a side out point to Bigfork, 7-3. Gray to serve. Morrow comes out as Chapius comes in for Bigfork. Nice serve. Shea. Dug out by Hawkins. Utter will get it across and out of bounds on the other side as Chapius lets it fall. And a point for Bigfork. 4-7. The Valkyries within 3. Gray to serve. Nice serve by Gray. Dug out by Hawkins. Utter. And a spike dug out by Winchester, and Chapius will knock it across the net and down on the Eureka side, and a point for Bigfork, 5-7. Gray to serve for the Vows. Nice serve. Off the hand of Brown, out of bounds into the stands on the other side, and a point for Bigfork. They're within 1, 7-6. Gray continues to serve for the Valkyries. Gray, Holton, Richner, Sari, dug out by Brown, spike, dug out by Gray, spike again by Schmidt as Gray digs it out and sets up Schmidt across the net, and she's able to spike it down. Utter to serve for Eureka on the side out, 8-6 lead. Utter service, deep, Richner digs it out. Fry. Miranda Gray spikes it into the net. And a point for Eureka, 9-6 here in set number 3. Utter. Richner digs it out. Holton sets up Fry. Fry deep off of Utter. Truman gets it across. Holton sets up Fry. Fry digs it out. Utter dug it out. Over to tips across is Schmidt, but the Valkyries were in the net, and a point for Eureka, 10-6 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Utter to serve for the Lady Lions. Serves it deep, Richner. Holton going to set up Chapius. Chapius dinks it down across the block and in for a point in front of Utter, and a side out to Bigfork, 10-7. Fry will serve. Turn her back in the game. Nice serve. Dug out by Utter. Over to Truman. Spike down. Dug out by Fry. Spike there by Truman. By Inga Turner. And Truman gets it across. Setting up Chapius. Chapius dinks it across. Dug out by Brown. Spike down by Truman. Utter. Back and forth. Holton digs it out. Alexis Sari. Cross. Dug out by Schmidt. Schmidt looking to spike. Spikes it in the net. And a point for Bigfork. 10-8 as the Valkyries continue to battle here. Never give up. Fry to serve. Turner. Chapius and Sari. And a deep serve there by Fry. And side out point for Eureka. So Turner, Kenzie Holton, Alexis Sari, Fry, Gray, and Chapius. Service by Hawkins. Dug out. And Fry digs it out, but Sari can't quite handle it. Out of bounds and a point to Bigfork. Or excuse me, to Eureka on the Bigfork side. And Schmidt to serve. Very good player for Eureka. Spikes it, dug out by Fry. Holton, Gray. Spikes it deep and off the hands of Schmidt. And a point side out to Bigfork. So Newton will come in to serve. Dana Sari will come in for Holton as they trail by 3, 9-2 on your big Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Service by Newton, good. Dug out by Hawkins. Chapius digs it out. The spike by Pruitt. Turner dinks it across and drops it in by Pruitt. And a point for Bigfork, 10-12. And Newton will serve again. Sorry, Turner and Chapius on the front line. Here comes Newton's serve. Serves it deep. And off the hands of Utter, out of bounds, and a point for Bigfork. They're within one at 11-12 as they continue to battle back and not give up here in this third set after losing the first two. And Newton continues to serve for Bigfork as they go on a mini run. Newton served, dug out by Utter. Over to Brown. Brown looking and spiking it down as Pruitt off the block and drops it on the Bigfork side. And that'll stop the run by the Valkyries. And 13-11 side out lead to Eureka. Truman to serve. Truman gets it across. Richner digs it out. Newton. Chapius in the back row. Spikes it down. Utter digs it out. Over Brown. Brown looking to set up Hawkins to Richner. Newton. Back set. Turner. Nice block. Nice spike off the block of Hawkins and drops it on the Eureka side. And a side out point for Bigfork. They are within one at 12-13. And Morrow comes in for Chapius. And Morrow will serve for the Vols. Serves it deep. Utter digs it out. Brown looking to set up Hawkins. Off of Morrow. And directly the spike right off of Morrow into the stands. And side out point for Bigfork. They should be changing that ball out. That went in the stands. And Brown will serve. Richner can't quite handle it. It goes out of bounds. And point for Eureka. 15-12 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And Brown to serve for Eureka. So a game of many runs here. Serving. Morrow digs it out. Jess Newton. Dug out. Spiked. Deep out of bounds by Pruitt. And side out point for Bigfork. Fry will come back in. Richner to serve. The Valkyries within two at 13-15. Here goes Richner. Serves it deep. Utter. Schmidt. Brown. Dug out by Richner. Newton looking to set up Fry. Fry spikes it down. Off of Shea. Utter to set it up. Hawkins to drop it down. On the Bigfork side and a point side out. 16-13. The Vols trail. Pruitt to serve for Eureka. Serves it into that. Side out point for Bigfork. And Alexis Sari comes in for Jessa Newton on the front line. Dana Sari to serve for Bigfork, trailing by 2. Sari served deep. Pruitt, Hawkins, over to Schmidt. Schmidt dug out by Richner. Sari setting up Campbell. Off of Schmidt. Shea. Deep spike there by Pruitt. Out of bounds. And we point for Bigfork. And they're within one. 16-15 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Dana Sari to serve. Service right down the line. Schmidt. Shea gets it across. Sari digs it out. Alexis Sari setting up Miranda Gray. And tipped by Eureka Pruitt and off the hands And it'll be a point for Bigfork. We're tied at 16. Couldn't tell. It looked like that may have going to be in, but it was tipped, so it didn't matter. Sorry, service deep. Shea digs it out. Brown. Hawkins to get it across. Or Schmidt. Dug out. Sorry. Gray knocks it down. Pluid digs it out. Set up. Hawkins spikes it down, and Richter can't quite handle it. Set up there by Brown. And he side out to Eureka, 17-16. And Rihanna Hawkins is served for Eureka. Hawkins serve. Gray digs it out. Holton setting up. Spike there by Fry. Dug out by Hawkins. Utter. Cross by Truman. Dug out by Bigfork. Gray to spike it down off of Hawkins. Over to Brown. Hawkins will get it back across. Morrow setting up Holton. Holton for Fry. Fry dinks it across the block. Attempt by Schmidt and Truman. And it drops on the Eureka side. And side out point for Bigfork. We're tied at 17. Shea will come in for Hawkins. Gray to serve. Nice service. And out of bounds. A little long by Miranda Gray. And side out to Eureka. 18-17. Like that first set that was won by 2. We're going to battle all the way to 25 here. Utter serves. Richter digs it out. Holton. Look at the setup. Gets across. Deacon is nice job there by Chapius. Schmidt can't handle it. Knocks it back. And side out point for Bigfork. We're tied at 18. So back and forth. And this time Fry will serve for the Valkyries. Service. And drops it right in. Right on the line does Jessica Fry for the ace. And 19-18. First time the Valkyries lead here in set number 3 on a nice service by Jessica Fry. As Eureka lets it go and it drops in for a point. And a Bigfork Valkyries lead at 19-18 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. We'll be back here after this timeout from Eureka, Montana. All right. My mic fixed. All right, we're back here in Eureka, Montana. 19-18. The Valkyries lead on the Montana Athletic Cup scoreboard. Jessica Fry continues to serve for Bigfork. Serves this one. Ooh, that was going to drop in, but Shea took care of it. Fluid. Schmidt gets it across. Gray. Chapius and dinked across by Sorry. Holton to dig it out. Jessica Fry. Gray going to knock it across. Dug out by Utter. Brown. Spiked in the net by Truman, and a point for Bigfork. They take a 2-point lead, 20-18, as Fry will continue to serve for the Valkyries. Spikes it right inside, just inside the back line. Drops in front of Pluid for a point, 21-18. Fry to serve for Bigfork. Drops another one. Shea digs it out. Over to Brown. Looking to spike it off the net. Dug out by Gray. Holton going to set up Turner. Turner spikes it. Dug out by Utter. Brown setting up. Digging across is Truman. Dug out by Bigfork. Turner spikes it. And there we go. Nice job by Schmidt to dig it out. And luckily, Miranda Gray let it go. She couldn't quite get to it. Falls out of bounds. And a point for Bigfork. 22-18, a 4-point lead here in set number 3. As the Valkyries battle back, Fry to serve. Dug out by Utter. Turner spikes it down. Crosses the net and a 23-18 5-point lead. And Eureka will take a timeout as the Valkyries go on a roll. And they're not ready to give it up yet as they trailed here in set number 3 and 2-0. They're ready battling back here in Eureka, Montana. We'll be back with the rest of set number 3 from Eureka, Montana. All right, welcome back. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of Valdea. 23-18, Valkyries lead set number 3. Fry to serve. Serves it. You're on a roll, just give it in. Side out and a point to Eureka. 23-19. And Hawkins to serve. A difficult returner. Richner dug out by Gray. Across by Chapius. And long, and a point for Eureka at 23-20. And Hawkins, Schmidt to serve for Eureka. Schmidt crossed, dug up by Gray. Holton dinks it across, dug up by Truman. Truman spikes it, and spikes it inbounds. Well, she's set up there by Brown. And 23-21. The Valkyries need to close this one out, get a side out right here as Hawkins serve for Eureka. Dug out by Wister, Holton. And Turner's got to get it back across. There's Utter. Brown setting up. And spiked down there by Truman. And Eureka within one at 23-22 as the game of runs continue here. The Valkyries just need to stop and get a side out. And that will be game point and can serve for the game here. So the Valkyries need to close this one out. They had a 5-point lead, and Fry served it deep. They just get it in. They had an opportunity, but side out made it 23-19. And Schmidt, their good player, really good jump server for Eureka to serve as they trail by 1. Service. Dug out by Richner. Holton. Gray spikes it down. Schmidt. Fluid spikes it off the hand of Chapius. And point for Eureka. We're tied at 23. And Schmidt to serve again for Eureka. Dug out by Richner. Out of bounds. And game point for the Lady Lions. And Fry will come in for Richner. And Hawkins to serve. Schmidt to serve. Schmidt serves it in the net. We're tied at 24. You got to win by 2 here. And now the Valkyries with an opportunity as Dana Sari comes in. And Justin Newton will come in to serve for the Valkyries. Rihanna Hawkins comes in for Michael Shea. Here tied at 24. So Newton just needs to get it across, get it in, and give him a chance here. Serves it. And dug out by Schmidt. Over to Brown. Cross Hawkins. Miranda. Gray digs it out. Newton to set up. And spiking it deep is Turner. And side out point for Eureka. And a game point again. And Truman serving for the Lady Lions. And Bigfork will take their final timeout with them trailing 25-24. So this is just like the very first set that ended in a 26-24 Eureka win. Valkyries trying to fight back. Had that 5-point lead, 23-28. Let Eureka slide back into it. And now Eureka leads 25-24. Although they were down 24-23, able to tie it up as Schmidt served into the net. So right here, this is decision time. They got to get it across. They do the side out, get a point, and try to serve for the win because you have to win by 2. So game point and set match point for the Lady Lions, and Truman to serve for Eureka. Fry, Newton, deep, knocks it across, back by Eureka. Fry, Newton setting up. Madison Chapius dinks it across. And in the net was Hawkins. And a point for Bigfork, side out. We're tied at 25. So Morrow to come in for Chapius and serve here in this third set. Gets it across, drops it across, Utter digs it out. Over to Brown. Brown setting up. Pull block there by Turner and Sorry. Back across, setting up Gray. Gray spikes it down. Utter. Over to Brown. Fluid. Dug out by Morrow. Newton. Morrow to get across for Bigfork. Shea. Over to Brown. Brown setting up. Fluid. Off. Oh, but it's still in play. Morrow digging it out. Newton. And Gray just got to spike it across and docks it down. Off the hands of Shea as it drops on the Eureka side. At a point for Bigfork. And game point here in this third set. Morrow to serve. Gets it across. Drops it in. Dig out. Fluid. Off the hand of Morrow on the spike by Fluid. And we're tied at 26. Side out to Eureka. This is some good volleyball action, folks. These girls are not giving up. Brown to serve. Morrow off her hands, can't handle the serve. She tried to set it instead of bump it, and off her hands and a point, game point to Eureka. And Brown will serve as this goes back and forth. Brown serves it. Morrow this time handles it. Newton setting up Gray. Gray spikes it, and Gray will spike it out of bounds deep. And a final as Eureka takes this third one, 28-26, and they win the set and the match. 26-24, 25-9, and 28-26. But a valiant effort, I'll say. Take your hats off to the Valkyries as they battled today with the Lady Lions of Eureka here from Eureka, Montana. So the Valkyries will be in action coming up on Saturday. Around 4 o'clock, we'll have that game for you as they take on the Lady Blue Hawks in Thompson Falls. We'll be on BFSD events covering that as well for you. A good match today with the Lady Lions, a lot better than at home as they battled them to 2 points in the first and third set. The second set kind of got away from them, but able to battle back, and they were down here in the set number 3, but able to battle back and had an opportunity to win it, couldn't quite handle it, and lose this one in 3 sets, but it was closer than the 3 sets indicate here from Eureka, Montana. Well, once again, thanks for joining me here from Eureka, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows. Glad you're able to catch the action and catch the Valkyries. I'll be back on BFSD events on YouTube tomorrow night as the Vikings head on the road. And the Vikings will take on the Anaconda Copperheads. We kick off at 7. We pregame about 6:45 for that tomorrow night from Anaconda. And we'll catch you there, and then we'll catch the Valkyries up on Saturday at Thompson Falls. Once again, thanks for joining us here in the final as the Valkyries lose this one 3-0. And in the sets, 26-24, 25-9, and 28-26 is your final as the Lady Lions take this one over the Valkyries. Once again, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vows. Thanks for joining me from Eureka, Montana. We'll catch you next time on Valkyrie Volleyball Action here on BFS Events here on YouTube.